Guys, welcome to the Black Financial Channel. This is theblackfinancialchannel.com. Today, we're going to talk about what's going on with the stock market. I'm going to break down some stuff that I've been reading today, things that might help you in your investing journey. There are a few indicators that are going on right now that you should pay attention to. Most importantly, the Fed is going to give you some bad news, but they're going to kind of give it to you real slow. They're going to kind of like when you boil the frog so that the frog feels the heat gradually so it doesn't overreact. And I'm going to break that down for you on the Black Financial Channel. So get started, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get cracking right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. What's going on, everybody? On Instagram, the Instagram page is the Black Financial Channel. So follow us on Instagram. There's lots of good information there, lots of good ways for you to get better and get wealthier. One thing about the Black Financial Channel, in case you are new, is that we talk about financial topics every single day. I go live as many times as necessary to talk about what's happening in the world because I like to talk, I like to teach, I like to connect with Black people. But we do it under one condition. We have a B1 philosophy. B1 means that we believe the Black community needs to be the top priority so we can solve our wealth gap issue. B1 also means that we believe Black people and our children can be number one in the world as it pertains to building wealth and investing and everything else. And then 3 means that B1, it says that we must be one in order to be successful. So if you agree with that philosophy, put a hashtag B1 in the chat. Teddy Grant, I see you. He says, I love this show. Well, I love you too, brother. Thank you so much for your kind words. And let's get it started. So hit a B1 and also hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button right now. Everybody, please do that. So let's talk about what's going on with the stock market right now. Basically, there is some bad news coming, but it's not so bad. It's not a nightmare. It's not a nightmare. But Deutsche Bank has actually described it as what they call the ticking time bomb of inflation. Deutsche Bank, whose opinion actually is not the consensus. This is not what most of the investors believe, but Deutsche Bank believes that inflation is going to be a sucker when it comes to this economy, that inflation is going to beat the economy in its butt, and it's going to be like a financial STD that you can't get rid of. And literally, they are worried about this right now. And they've issued dire warnings for the global economy, and they've claimed that this inflation is going to hurt the most vulnerable in the economy, right? It's going to exacerbate the inequality. But then again, though, that's what capitalism does when it's not checked. It tends to just create more inequality. That's your big issue in America. During the pandemic, you saw an increase in inequality over time. Now, moving on from that, first of all, thank you very much, Barbara, for congratulating us on the wedding. If you want to watch the wedding video is on drboycetv.com. If you go to drboycetv.com, just scroll down, you'll see the wedding video. We put the whole video out there. And the reason that we shared the video is not because we're clout chasing, but because we want to clout chase for Black love. Like, I want Black love to have clout again. I want the honoring and the love of Black women to be something that we carry on our chest and on our sleeve, and to really, really mean something for us. I believe that Black men deserve to be honored and respected when we're doing our best. And I think that we've lost some of that. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion. I know people don't like it when I talk about these these seemingly side issues. But the more I understand about wealth, the more I know that the ability to maintain healthy families and relationships is critical for wealth building. I have a friend that lives in Africa, and she's very wealthy. And she said that the reason I'm wealthy is because my great-grandfather had cows, and he passed those cows down to my grandfather, who passed those cows down to my father. And now my father, we really, they have a big mansion. They have 4 or 5, different types of Range Rovers and Mercedes Benzes and maids and servants and gardeners. And she said, I don't understand. I want y'all to pay attention now, because I told y'all, we hit this from a Black perspective. Black wealth is why I talk. I don't talk just to talk about the financial. I want you to understand the Black side of this. She said, I do not understand how African Americans think that they can build wealth when you are starting over every generation. She said, I cannot imagine trying to build wealth without my mother having the support of my father and my father having the support of my mother. She said, in my village, the men and women of power don't even respect you if you are a man who has not taken on a wife. If you are not taking care of a family and building a structure around you, then you get no respect. Now, I know some people ain't used to that. Some people ain't used to that grown folks talk. You're used to that little boy talk that you see on media and stuff like that they've been feeding your kids through hip hop. They watch shows like Love and Hip Hop, which is really a recipe on how to destroy your relationships, how to have toxicity in your life. And then you wonder why they end up broke, busted, and disgusted. Well, they end up broke because you can't build nothing if you're not working together. That's just what it is. And now that's just a perspective, but that's true. So with that being said, that's why I carry the flag for Black love, because I know it's hard. I know things are difficult, but if we don't learn how to love each other again, we will never have wealth. We will never become wealthy. So because I am wealthier, because I got that woman next to me who is a hell of a teammate in terms of us conquering and doing the things we're trying to do. So with that being said, let's jump back into the stock market conversation. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done it yet. One of the things that's going on right now is, so Deutsche Bank issues this stark report saying that there's a ticking time bomb of inflation. Inflation is a scary thing because once inflation blows up, it's hard to get back into the bucket. You can't, it's like the cat that runs out the front door. Once the cat runs away, you can't chase it down. So inflation is the big fear. Now, what the Fed has done successfully is they've convinced most investors to not panic. Right? They've helped them understand that, look, you need a little bit of inflation. It's like when you're driving in the car with your grandma. Like my mother-in-law, she's the Nana of the family, right? We call her Nana. And when you start hitting the accelerator, Nana's like, "Whoa, you're driving too fast." And we're like, "No, Nana, we need to speed up. We got to speed up because the speed limit is 70 miles an hour, and we're only going 65, right?" But then if you start going 90 or 100 miles an hour, then grandma has a legitimate complaint. Well, basically what's going on is that the economy slowed down. Just imagine like a car slowing down to like 20 miles an hour. The Fed has pushed inflation. They tried to create inflation to get the economy going again. They want the car to speed up. So they're putting their foot on the pedal and they're accelerating at a rapid rate. And now they're about 65, 70 miles an hour. And people are saying, whoa, slow down. Woo. Oh, my God, you're going to crash the car. Right. And the Fed's like, no. We got to keep going because we don't know that we're out of this. We need to get out of this thing. We need to heal economically. And then we'll start to slow down. Then we'll start to what they call taper. They call this tapering. We're going to start sort of giving the economy its methadone, to kind of, slow it down. But right now we need to hit the gas because we're trying to get away from this pandemic. Do you follow me? Give me a yes in the chat if you get what I'm saying, if you understand the analogy. And so basically the debate right now amongst economic experts, and I don't really know exactly where I stand on this debate, is this inflation going to be a problem? Is this going to be a problem? In the beginning, there was a big problem. There's a big panic. What happened? The 10-year bond yield shot way up. That's a big indicator of expected inflation. When that yield shot up, that's when a lot of your growth stocks started to get body slammed. Like you guys know, for example, among many stocks that I've talked to you about investing in, we've talked about Tilray and Workhorse and Jumia, and a lot of those growth companies got hammered when the 10-year yield went up for various reasons we won't go into, but basically that's what's supposed to happen. When the expectation of inflation goes up, these companies' prices tend to get hit the hardest. But what happened was these companies started to rebound because the economy kind of cooled off. They were like, okay, we're not going to panic. We're not going to freak out. And because the Fed, the chairman of the Fed, Jay Powell, has basically said, look, man, just relax. It's not a big deal. We don't have an inflationary issue. It's temporary, right? But the cat the cat's not out of the bag yet, so to speak, or the verdict is still out on this. And a lot of this information, a lot of the conclusion is going to present itself this week. This week is a big announcement. This week, they're going to announce the CPI numbers for this month. If those numbers are bad, meaning that if inflation is high, you're going to see some of your stocks get hit really, really hard. That 10-year yield is going to pop right up. People are going to say, see, I told you there was a reason. I told you that we weren't safe, right? And that's when the Fed is actually going to have to say, okay, grandma, okay, I get it. We are going a little bit fast. We're going to slow down. So that's when they're going to start tapering. That's when they're going to start minimizing what you would call their loose money policies. What they've been doing is they've been buying back bonds in the open market. That's how they increase the money supply. When they increase the money supply, it gets the economy going, but it can also create inflation. So if they see that this CPI number is out of whack and they see that the market goes crazy, it has what you call a taper tantrum or a taper tantrum. There's various ways to look at it, but that might be what you might call a taper tantrum. Then they're going to go ahead and make an announcement and say, look, we're going to go ahead and take care of this inflation issue, and we're going to speed up the process a little bit, right? Right now, though, assuming the numbers are not bad for the CPI, they're going to have a nice casual tapering, right? Because what's been going on, the reason it's been so easy for you to make money, this is why, where do you find the CPI numbers? I'm telling you, Darian, when they are announced, You go to any major finance, Yahoo Finance, CNBC, anywhere, they're going to be talking about it. Believe me, they're going to talk about it. And if you see your stocks move, like if you see the prices suddenly just go crazy, or you hear that the market dropped 400 or 500 points today, there's almost always information behind a move like that. So at that point, what you do is you say, okay, it's like if you're in a room, our 10-year-old is upstairs and the room started stinking, and we said, somebody farted. Who farted? And she's over there giggling, hee hee hee, right? And I'm like, you stinky little thing. And how did I know? I knew something had happened because I smelled the smell in the room, and I'm like, you farted, you little stinky little girl, right? Well, the same thing is true. Whenever you see your stocks plummet, that means something happened. That means somebody farted, right? So what you do is you can go and Google it, right? So the stock market plummets, you get on the internet, you look it up, and what you will typically find 9 times out of 10 is that when the stocks start to drop, you will see that there is news behind a price movement like that. Or if the stocks shoot through the roof, you will find news. There is always a culprit. There's always typically an explanation. It's very rare that the entire market makes a major move and there's no news or information behind it. The number one driver of stock prices tends to be the release of information. Okay, so that's really important to understand. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you still want to get better at investing, you can actually go to firstshareofstock.com. The URL's on the screen, and we'll send you lots of free information from the Black Business School as well to make you smarter. And when it comes to all things related to investing, we really like to help our people. So we hope you'll feel free to go to that site. Also this week, we have, you guys may not know this, but we made an entire movie. We spent a big budget and made it, for us, it was a big budget because we're independent. We don't get money from corporations. We don't get money from the government. We don't take money from white people. No disrespect if you're white, but we just, we want to be independent and free. So we raised this money and we made a movie called Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint. For about the last 6 or 7 years, we have been speaking at the top of our lungs about the Black Wall Street massacre. And we've been pushing the idea that every child in our community needs to know this story when they're very, very young. So most of the people that are in our space are not, they're ahead of the curve. You know, now I know in mainstream media, they're starting to talk about it more because it's the 100th anniversary. We were talking about this many, many years ago, and we did a whole movie by it. It was directed by an award-winning filmmaker that you should know about by the name of Dorian Chandler. Dorian Chandler did this film for us years ago, and we screened it in Chicago. We did the premiere in Chicago, and people were lined up. It was totally packed, totally sold out. People were lined up out the door, down the block, and around the corner. So many black people were lined up that they thought it was like a Chief Keef concert, or Chance the Rapper was in town, because so many black people lined up, and they weren't used to seeing black people lined up for something like that. So the movie's really, really good. We're going to show this film on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. You can watch it with us for free. And I think I can get the director to come in and answer questions and talk about the film. So if you'd like to join us, just go register at blackmovienight.net. Go to blackmovienight.net, scroll down, look for the movie, click the link, and you can register. And it's basically a big Zoom where there'll be thousands of us in there. We'll watch the movie together and have some fun. Bring your popcorn, bring your wife, bring your kids, bring your baby daddy. I don't care. Let's just get together and talk about black wealth. Because like I said, we've been talking about this stuff for a long time. It's good that the rest of the world is catching up. Now let's see here. Chris Adams says, since I subbed to this channel, I've never heard Dr. B ask for money like a lot of his channels that say they are for the community. Thank you. Yeah. We don't want donations. What we do is we do have the Black Business School, and there are things there that if you want to be a part of our university, you can be. I was a college professor at Syracuse University for 13 years. I saw a lot of our students go $200,000 in debt to learn from people that taught them nothing about black wealth, nothing that the black community actually needs. And so I left Syracuse because I wanted to create a university. And, because I believe the white people can create universities. Why can't we? We need to educate our own kids. So if you want to learn from us in the Black Business School, feel free to come over to theblackbusinessschool.com. We got people that are actually there, right there, that will talk to you. It doesn't cost you anything to talk to them and find out how we can help you. And if your budget isn't right, that's okay. Don't let that stop you from getting what you need. We're here for the whole community. We raise money because no one else funds this, right? We do this ourselves, but that's okay. You don't have to have money to be connected to what we're doing. So feel free to go take a visit. All right. So let me, let's dig a little deeper in terms of what's going on in the market. One of you were asking about these meme stocks and what I think about the meme stocks. Well, the meme stocks have been taken off. You've got, You've got what was it? AMC, of course. AMC is kind of the big stock everybody's talking about. You've also got Bed Bath and Beyond. You've got GameStop. That was the original, the OG of the meme stocks. And then you've got what's the other one? BlackBerry. Now these companies I think all of them did well today. All of them popped. I have been studying the hell out of the whole meme stock phenomena to try to understand what's going on. On my Twitter, I did a survey where I was asking everybody on Twitter. There's my Twitter. It's Dr. Boyce Watkins and the #1. Follow me on Twitter. I want intelligent people only. I don't want stupid people. I don't debate with dumb people. I'd like to talk to people that want to be smarter. It's okay to be dumb. Just if you want to get smarter, that's good. But if you're dumb and you insist on staying dumb, then I don't know how I can help you. You should go follow a dumb person. But anyway, I did a survey and I asked the basic question. I said, for everybody who's bought AMC stock, I said, why did you buy it? And I because I was there's sort of three competing theories in my head. One is that people were buying AMC for the reason that's most publicized, which is we want to stick it to the man, right? We want the short sellers to pay. We want to kick them in the butt. And that's it, right? Okay, cool. I get that, right? The rah-rah, we'll lose money in order to make a point. Okay, I get that. Then there's like this other area where it's like, we believe in AMC. We think AMC is a great company. I want to be a long-term investor. I want to see AMC, go to the moon long-term. I'm going to be at the shareholders meetings for the next 20 years because I want to be an owner of this great company. Okay, that's a possibility. And then there was like, I just want to make a fast dollar. I want to get in, get out, get my paper and bounce. And so basically about 90% of the people that responded, and again, these, the people that follow me are not a random sample. These are intelligent Black people. Most of them, about 90% of you were like, man, I just want this money. I just want to make some money and roll out and be gone. And I don't have a problem with that because I get that completely. That's exactly what I did. Alicia and I bought some AMC. We made a few $1,000s and then we protected our position and bounced. I'm not interested. There's thousands of companies to invest in besides AMC. There's nothing about that company that endears me to make me feel like I have to be in this company forever. So the reason I did that survey is because the reasons that people are buying, in my view, will tell you sort of what the dynamics of this stock price is expected to look like, right? People that are in it for a hit it and quit it fast buck, it's like dating. You're like, what are your intentions with my daughter, right? Okay, are you trying to date my daughter because you want to make her ex-boyfriend jealous? Right. That's like the theory of like, we want to stick it to the man. Right. Or do you think my daughter's wonderful and you want to marry her? Well, that's a different conversation. Right. Or is it that you just think my daughter's cute? You want to hit it and quit it. Right. That's that quick profit motive. Right. So all three of those scenarios might be a fit depending on what people are looking for. But it's really a matter of understanding those dynamics to allow you to predict what is going to happen. Right. Because a guy who says, I love you, I want to be with you forever, that guy's going to be around for a while. That's a different sort of investment as opposed to a guy who's like, yeah, I'm hoping we can have sex by Tuesday so that I can find a new girlfriend by Thursday, right? So with AMC, most of the people that invest in AMC kind of have that financial version of a hit it and quit it mentality. They want to come in, make their money and get out. What this says to me is that this could be a pump and dump type of situation. Now, here's what's interesting, though. I thought the same thing might happen with GameStop, but if you look at GameStop, the stock price has maintained a lot of its value in a surprising way. I mean, GameStop originally looked like a hit it and quit it. The price went way up and then it started plummeting. Nobody was surprised, but then it started to rise back up again. And then you start hearing people like this one guy, the main leader, the I guess the alpha leader of the whole Reddit movement. I forgot his name. He has some nickname. I forgot his name. But anyway, this dude is like, yeah, I made $1 million selling my option or when my options expired, and I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna exercise the options and buy more shares of the stock. And I said, oh, okay, wow. I thought you were just there to make her ex-boyfriend jealous. I thought maybe you were just there because you wanted a short relationship, but you want to marry this girl. Okay, well then that's a different kind of thing. So the fact that AMC has these investors that are in this hodl mindset, that are saying, we're really here. Like we really believe in these activist investors that have taken charge of AMC. There's a guy there. I don't remember his name, but he's really engaged with the audience. That says that a lot of people really want to stick around with GameStop and that could maintain the stock price. Why is that a beautiful thing? Well, that's a beautiful thing for someone like me, if you sell stock options, for example, I love to sell stock options to make money. It's great for me because the GameStop options are really expensive, and you can sell them at a very high price to all the people that really love GameStop, because I don't love the company. I just invest because I'm looking for places to put my money where I can make my money and then move on to something more stable. So with AMC, I don't know if AMC though is the same as GameStop though. I don't know if AMC is in that same category in terms of being this beloved company that people want to be involved with for many, many years. That's still yet to be determined. Right now, AMC continues to go up. It went up a whole lot today, and I'm happy for you if you're an investor in AMC. I'm certainly not. I hope I certainly don't give you the impression that I am ridiculing your choice or your position, because I did invest in AMC, but I did sell options on my AMC stock. I'm not interested in trying to see what's going to happen. I want to get my money as soon as possible. Okay, so there's different ways to play this, and I'm going to talk about this a lot more in class tomorrow. So those of you that are coming to class, you can ask me specific questions, and I will answer every single question that you guys submit. Try to submit your question in advance so that I can see it and kind of think about it and stuff like that. And those of you who are not in the class yet, feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com. The first month is free. There's a 30-day 100% money back guarantee if you're not happy for any reason. And all the classes are recorded. So even if you can't make the live class, there's literally hundreds of dozens for sure. I want to say hundreds of previous classes already in there that you can just go through. You just sit there and just take in stock information all day long and do that with your kids and your family, because I want wealth building to be a family thing. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. One more thing I want to mention that's really interesting to me that got my attention is that there's the U.S. government, Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, was very successful in pushing through this global minimum tax, which I thought was wonderful, where basically she's gotten all of the countries, all the G7 nations anyway, the industrialized countries, to all agree to tax corporations a minimum of 15%. Now, this is still not completely done. There's still a lot more work to do, but this is a big deal. This is a big deal because what this does is it stops companies from being able to kind of play countries against each other. In a way, it's a little bit like, even though I don't agree with what the NCAA does by all agreeing not to pay the athletes, I think that's unethical. But it's similar to that in the sense that the countries have formed a little bit of a cartel where they've kind of said, no, we're all going to stick together and we're all going to require you to pay 15% taxes no matter where you put your corporate headquarters. A lot of companies will put their headquarters in a country where they do almost no business, just because that country has no taxes, or very, very low taxes. And what this does is it hurts countries like the United States, because what will happen is companies like Apple will sell billions of dollars worth of products in the United States and suck money out of the pockets of American consumers, but won't pay taxes back into the American economy. This is a bad long-term play for the U.S. because your government has a massive deficit that it cannot repay. The debt levels are unsustainable, largely because wealthy people and corporations don't pay very much in taxes. So what I've pretty much advised you guys as Black people to do is to understand the system. You got to understand the game, because what happens in this economy, and this is true with capitalism, it's been true for the last 1,000 years, ever since capitalism was related to things like feudalism, right? Basically, what happens in an economy like this is 90% of the people do work that supports the top 10%. The people that work the hardest are the ones who pay the most into the system and get the least from the system. So working for money is kind of a really hard way to make money. Also, working is the hardest way to minimize your tax burden, because most of the taxes get paid by working class people. So the reason that financial literacy is absolutely essential, the reason it's very important for every Black family to understand wealth, to own real estate, own stocks, etc., is at the very least the fact that when you own these assets and you're making your money that way, you don't just work less and make more, but you also pay a lot less in taxes. Capital gains taxes are much lower than the taxes that are paid by everyday workers. So you don't want to pay your taxes in that way. So with that said, I'm hoping they'll change that process. I hope that one day they'll make the billionaires pay their fair share. I don't think they'll ever do that. I really don't. So trying to be more of a pragmatist with this rather than this sort of idealism like, oh, we're going to tear down the capitalist system. Good luck with that. I hope that you can do whatever you're trying to do. I'd rather just say, okay, how do we as Black folks take the lead? How do we do what the Jewish community has done? The Jewish community is a very tiny minority, but what they do is they are very intense and very serious and very intentional about teaching their children about how wealth works, where to position themselves in every financial deal that they're a part of, how to engage in the active, consistent asset accumulation, and that's why they have so much money. Their wealth and their power far exceeds their percentage in the population because they focus on certain things. So the way they dominate the wealth and ownership space, the way we dominate the basketball court or the football field or the hip hop music industry. So there's nothing wrong with playing basketball or football or hip hop. The problem is that 99% of all basketball players never make a penny playing basketball. 99% of all the great football players I know never make a penny playing football. 99% of the rappers I know never made hardly a nickel rapping, right? But if you took that and you said, let's create the same number of entrepreneurs and real estate investors and stock market holders that we have basketball, football players, rappers, and et cetera, then you're going to find that 99% of those people become economically successful, or at the very least, a large percentage of them become multimillionaires. And so I'm just saying, take what you're doing, keep doing the same thing, just add in a different play, add an extra angle to your game, and then you're going to find yourself winning a lot more than losing. Okay. So anyway, thank you very much. Lovely. She says, congratulations on your marriage. I hope you have a long and prosperous life. What books do you read on investing? I have the book, The Intelligent Investor. I think books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad are good. I tend to, because I teach finance, when you get a PhD, you're at such a weird level of it that it's like if you're a ninja, you're not going to really go take a karate class, right? Because you're a ninja. You had to go to the highest mountain in Budapest and, starve to death for 2 weeks and, in freezing cold weather and do all these really torturous things to become really, really good at karate. So a ninja really doesn't take a karate class. They might teach one, but they can't, so people like people that have that did what I did, we're supposed to be the ones who write the books. Like, we're not really the ones who are like, oh, let me read a book. It doesn't mean I don't read books. Don't get me wrong. I read lots of stuff, but I tend to just take in information as I need it. One thing that I want you to kind of know is this whole idea that you have to go to a university and sit in a professor's class to learn the things you need to know. That's kind of outdated, honestly. I say this as a college professor. I spent many years on college campuses and all that stuff, and it can be valuable, right? But I can't think of too many things you can do on a college campus that you can't do off that campus, except maybe get a professional license, like become a professional dentist or become a lawyer, etc. But even then, when I talk to my kids about what they're going to do when they grow up, I don't really talk much about defining yourself by a profession, because that was something we had to do. But I just tell them, just become financially secure, and then you could be whatever you want on any given day. If you've got, if my daughter has $300,000 in liquid assets available and can pay her mortgage and all her bills with no problem, then she can be whatever she wants to be that week. She can, decide one week I want to be a dancer, the next week I want to be an actress, the next week I want to be something else. And that's really how you can actually, in my view, live your best life. So building wealth isn't just something you do so you can have lots of material possessions. Those things come with the package for sure. You can buy, whatever car you want, whatever house you want. But what you'll find is that once you kind of had some nice cars and had, been in nice hotels and all that, you'll start looking for a higher purpose. And what you'll find is that there are lots of things that you really didn't realize about yourself that you really love to do, but you never thought about those things because your daddy and your mama told you that you had to spend all your time at work. So I want you to really find yourself. I want you to try to see wealth. Again, this is why this platform isn't really sort of totally mainstream. I don't want to be mainstream. I kind of want to get you to really find your bliss, right? I want happiness to come out of this, not just wealth, right? So I hope that that's not me overstepping my boundary on this. I know some people like it, some people don't, but I really want you to understand that money is not the destination. Money is the tool. So the question is, what is the destination? It's up to you to figure that out. So I hope this conversation is helpful to you. Please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to join us for class, you can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. Go ahead and sign up. We meet every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Students submit their questions in advance. I also show them all the stocks that I'm buying and adding to my own portfolio. So there's a lot of perks and benefits that you get. So feel free to give it a try. The first month is free. So have a good day, everybody. I hope this was helpful. I'll probably be back a little bit later. This was a lot of fun. So talk to you guys later. Talk to you soon. Peace.